Good morning.
Good morning. We're so glad to have you for our spiritual 52 weeks challenge. As you can see, this morning we are outside enjoying the beauty of God's creation, and uh, we wanted to share with you His beauty and all that He has created with you for us. So we want to do it outside this morning. Uh, our word for today is drive.
Drive.
Drive. And we want to always read to you our scripture lesson, which always comes from 1 John 4:4, which says, "You are of God, little children, and have overcome them, because greater because he who is in you is greater than he who is in the world." So we must always remember that scripture. He who is in you is greater than he who is in the world.
Yes.
So at this time, my wife will come and give us the definition and come in her own way uh, concerning the word drive.
Good morning again. And drive, it just means an innate biological determination, urge to attain a goal or satisfy a need, to have energy or determination or passion. A journey begins with the first step, and drive is what makes you take the first step. So I guess I'll start. And to me, drive is something that we all definitely should have within us. In our lives. It can be you have a drive to motivate yourself to have a better position within a job. It means you can have a drive within yourself to want to do better in life. You can have a drive within yourself to want to be a better parent and to go above and beyond in doing for your children. And then it can also mean a drive within yourself to want to create something for your own life, leave a legacy maybe for your children. We all have different passions, and it talked about in here a determination or a passion. We all have sometimes things that we strive for in life, and sometimes we have a passion. I know one of my passions, I never used to think that I wanted to be self-employed. My husband is self-employed, but I never thought it was for me. But I see that as COVID has went on and things have changed within my life and within my job situation, that I too, um, I like the idea of being self-employed. And so, when you're self-employed, you have to have that drive. Nobody is going to go out here and make it happen for you except for you. Yes, you can have people supporting you, but they're not going to be the ones that go out here and push and get you to the next level in things and with your business or with your passion that you have. So, you definitely have to make sure that you keep yourself motivated. It's easily when you're self-employed, or it's easily when you're not self-employed, just to lose sight of what you're striving for in life, to lose that uh, ambition to go out here and make it happen for yourself or for anything that you're destined for. So you have to make sure that you keep yourself focused, you keep yourself you keep pushing yourself to go above and beyond, and that
Mm-hmm.
you just make sure you keep putting that one step. And it talked about how, you have to take that first step, and that's the thing. You have to go out and take the first step in making it possible for yourself or for anything. It could be that you have a drive and you have a desire, a drive in making sure your finances are better in your life,
Mm-hmm.
and that all starts with you taking that first step. That all starts with you making sure that you prioritize and put those things in order that you need to do to make sure you make things financially better for yourself, that you make things financially better for you in a job situation. Even with a job situation, you can start at the bottom of the totem pole. Sometimes people don't like to start at the bottom, but if you push yourself and you have a drive to maybe one day be the CEO of that company or be the president of that company, it can happen. But you have to have that drive and you have to have that motivation within you to want those things. And you can't just, like I said, you can't just talk about it, but you got to be about it.
Right. And one thing I've thought about with the word drive is like my wife said, just being motivated to do, to act, no matter what area you do it in, no matter what field, no matter what category, just being motivated to act. Uh, Stop second guessing yourself.
Yes.
Stop putting limited limits on yourself. You know, a lot of times we kill our own dreams. We
Yes.
kill our own goals because we always thinking negative, or we allow the world to kill our drive. You know, we allow the world to take it away from us. We allow the world to put stumbling blocks. And you know, and one thing I've learned as an athlete, especially as you know, when I ran track, uh, if you don't push yourself, you won't get better. You know, if you don't go beyond what's normal, you won't get better. If you don't, you
Yes.
know, if you don't try, you know, how can you succeed if you don't try? You know, so and that attitude I've taken on in my life, uh, and that's why you know it's really I tell people I tease about it, but I'm honest about it. It's hard for me to work in the field, in the working field, because I've been so self-employed that I've been pushing myself and driving myself to reach my dreams, to reach my goals, and to work for myself and to have what I want to have, uh, and to do what I want to do, what I like to do. Uh, so I've been, you know, cutting hair and been pretty much in the uh, self-employed business for over. I thought about it for over 25 years, you know, uh, and this is just the drive that I have, and because of my drive, God has blessed me uh, to once again own a barbershop, and it is successful, and I thank God for that, for giving me that drive, and not just Him giving it to us, because He gives it to all of us, but
Yes.
I thank Him for I thank Him for allowing me to use my faith to step out and do what He gave me to do, what He's shown me. If God has shown you your business, if God has shown you your finances being not in the red but in the black, if
Yes.
God has shown you your family being whole, if God has shown you that you are the CEO of that company, or you are the next manager, or you are the most valued employee. You may not be the
Yes.
manager, but you might be the next month's valued employee. If God has shown you that, then you drive, you push. That's all drive
Yes.
is
Yes.
pushing yourself. You push yourself to do what God has shown you that you can do.
Yes.
Because if God showed it to you, then He's telling you you
He's
can
going to
do
bring you
this.
to it. Yes. And he's going to bring you to it, and he's going to make it happen for you. And, that's what, it says in the definition is you got to take the first step. So after you take that first step, then you take another step.
Yes.
So you just keep increasing yourself to each new level. You don't have to, and it's not going to happen overnight, and that's what I think I have to make sure I remember is that you're not going to be so successful in one day. You're not going to be so successful in a week or a month or even a year, maybe.
Right.
But as long as you keep pushing yourself, and as long as you keep striving, and as long as you keep being motivated and determined and taking those next steps, and making sure that God is, right there in the midst of it with you as well, it will happen.
Yeah.
But you just got to make sure you take that first step, and that you
Yes.
just keep being motivated and keep pushing yourself, and make sure that within you, and if it means that you got to meditate on God's word, you got to study God's word, or you got to read some self-help books, or you got to, motivate your way in that way, then do that. And again, I will say it may not always be the family that is going to be your biggest supporter. So don't get down on yourself because your family is not supporting you as you think they should, because sometimes it's those people that are far from you is going to be your biggest supporter in things.
Right.
So definitely, but make sure you know within yourself you're supporting yourself, and that you're pushing yourself, because we can't always look for other people to push us, but you got to have that push and that drive within you to make things happen in your life. And we got to instill this as well in our children. We got to make sure that they have that will power to want to go out here and do things for themselves in life. Yes, we can guide them and we can teach them and direct them, but we got to make sure we instill in them that willpower and that want to go out here to get to the next level, to take the next step. You know, we look at a lot of times we say that our kids, our black kids, are not going out here and doing and taking the next step in life when it comes to after they graduate and they have no direction. Well, did we instill in them that direction? Did we try to give
Right.
them the opportunities that they need to make sure that they know how to take that next step? And sometimes it's all about not having the knowledge and the lack of. So we got to make sure as a community, as a Christian community, as a
Right.
black community, that we go out here and make sure our kids know what the next step is, what the next level can be. And that they, if they want it, we got to help them to get to that level, as parents. And like I said, as a community, we can't just continue to turn our backs on the young people out here in this world. Yes, we say sometimes it's supposed to start at home, but it also starts with having a community to support you. And,
Yes.
and I can definitely say for my husband, his barbershop, and the other coach that's there, they are always telling those kids, that they can go and do something with their lives. And, any kids that we come in contact with, we're always letting them know that, hey, you can go further. You don't have to just graduate and think you have nowhere to go, that
Right.
there's nothing out here for you. There is something out here for you. So we got to be encouraging, we got to be pushing these kids. We got to be telling them that you are somebody.
Sow a seed of
Yes, sow a seed
drive,
in them and let them
in
know
them.
that, God created you. He didn't create you just to be here. He created you and you have a purpose. So help them to find that purpose in life. Everybody's purpose is different. Some may be similar, but God has put something in each one of us to be
Right.
able to go out here and do in this world that He wants us to do. So we have to make sure we know what that is. And if you don't know what it is, talk to God about it, search and find out what it is, but make sure when you do find out what it is, you push yourself, you go for that passion, and that you just work hard at it. And it takes hard work. Nothing
Yes.
in life is given to us free, and nothing in life is easy. We got to go out
Yes.
here and make things happen for ourselves. Because if we don't make things happen for ourselves, nobody's going to give it to us.
That's
Nobody's going
right.
to give us a silver spoon. I used to hear that saying when I was growing up. And said, "Oh, some people was given a silver spoon. They just had it easy," and that may be true. But some of us didn't have it easy, and you got to go out here and make it happen. You got to go out here, and if you want your life to be different than what you grew up having, then you got to make it happen.
That's right.
You laying in the bed thinking, "Oh, it's me," and "Woe is me," and feeling sorry for yourself. Get over it. Get out
Yes.
here, make it happen. I try to push myself as well, and sometimes I say that, "Oh Lord, why can't I be able to have it so easy?" Well, Lord might not have wanted me to have it easy because He
That's
might
right.
not know I didn't appreciate it if I got it easy. So
Right.
therefore, you got to go out here and work for it, and when you work for it, you'll appreciate it more in life.
Yes. And one thing I want to share with you, we just got back from vacation, and we went on a little activity with the kids. We had on a tube slide, and we had to go up this escalator. And the definition of drive says take one step. My wife said take one step, and after that step, take another, and after another. Where we was on this escalator, and the escalator pulled us up the hill. So, and we was holding the tube, standing on the escalator. Where my daughter, she fell. When we got in the middle of the escalator, she in the middle of the, and she fell down on the escalator, but it kept pulling her. And she was trying to get up, and I told her, I said, sit down. I said, it's doing the work. It's pulling you. And she was crying, and then she just sat there and cried till we got to the top of the hill, and then she got off, and so we went down the hill. When we went back to ride it again, she got on the escalator, and then this time she was with her mother, and she said, her so mama said, now you failed last time, be still. And she said, well, mama, if I fall, I just sit down. It'll tote me up. So I looked at that and I said, you know what? She was so determined to go back on that ride again that if I fall, guess what? I know how to get up there because it's going to take me up. And that's the thing about drive. Sometimes you're going to fail. Sometimes you're going to fall. But you got to know from the first trip or for the first step how to get to the next step. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to take, oh, if I took that step, I can take this step.
Yes.
If I managed it through that one, I can manage it through this one. So drive, you got to have that drive, that passion, that determination that I'm going to go to the where I need to be. And that's what my daughter had when we was on doing that little activity. she had that drive. After the first, she got to the hill, she was crying, but when she got on the ride, she enjoyed it. So when we had to go back on the second time, she was determined. I'm going up to the top, even if I had to sit down again on this escalator. I'm gonna sit down because I know it's gonna take me to the top, so I can enjoy this ride. And that's that drive that she was determined that she was gonna ride it again. So even when her mother said, "You better be still because you failed last time," she said, "Well, if I fall, I just sit down. It'll take me up." And so that's what we have to know. We have to know that once we make that one step, the same energy, the same mindset, the same proactive uh, initiation that you took for that first step, take it for the second, take it for the third, take it for the fourth, and you'll see yourself growing. You'll see yourself going into what God has for you, and you become a better person because of it.
And it's all about life lessons, and that's what everything that we do and go through in life it's a lesson, and it makes sure that you take something from each thing that you do, and that's something that Amore took. She took a lesson from it. She realized that even though I failed the first time, I can do this the second time, and I got this. And if I can't stand, I know that I can ride up and I can see it. So it's all about taking those life lessons, and it's like my husband said, you're gonna fall in some things and you're gonna fail, and doesn't mean that you need to stop.
Right.
Push yourself and try it again.
Yeah.
And take that lesson and learn from what happened the first time. Learn maybe why it failed and how I didn't make it to what I was supposed to do. So everything is good. It's a life. Take the good with the bad and keep striving, keep pushing yourself, and just have that determination and that drive in you to know that nothing can stop me. Doesn't mean that you're going to step on other people to get to the next level. It just means that you're going to push yourself and will yourself to do better for yourself.
Right. This author,
Scott Gold.
He says he wrote an article, and the title is "Drive, Determination, and Passion: Three keys to success in business and in life." And I wanted my wife just to read what he says about drive before we close.
He says, drive is an inner quality that many people lack. It is a drive that makes a person not accept the status quo. It is drive that makes someone to not want to be mediocre. Drive is a quality that few have. Many people are happily content with their position in life or within their company, which is just fine. Others see themselves with being able to attain higher goals than just being a spoke on the corporate bicycle wheel. It is this drive that brings people to make the jump into being their own boss. It is easy to stay the course in your life. It is much harder to harness your drive and take the leap. Life is a journey, and there are many journeys in one's life. Getting married, losing weight, learning to play an instrument. These are all journeys that lead to a richer life. A journey begins with the first step, and drive is what makes you take the first step. No matter what no matter what your journey is, it all begins with drive. And he is so very true in regards to that. So definitely, it's your journey. Make that journey yours and push yourself to go above and beyond than what you want to be. And he said something key in there as well. It's okay to be content. That is just fine, because that is a lot. Some people are just content with where they are.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to do anything extra. They don't want to go above and beyond in a job. They like where they are, and that's great and fine. But there are those other people that want more, and that is fine as well.
And like I said, this message is for those who's been pushing it back. God is speaking to you, but yet you looking at all around you and you're saying, well, not yet. We're speaking to you. Those that are content, we understand your space. We understand where you are.
Yes.
And it takes that also. But those who are neglecting to do what God has called you to do, and you know who you are, neglecting to use that drive, you know who you are. We're speaking to you this morning. Yes. And we're asking and praying you to use that drive to reach your goal, to reach that dream that God has given you. Use it. Don't be afraid to use it. So we're going to close. We thank y'all. We missed y'all
Yes.
the last week and a half. We're sorry that we didn't do it last week. But we missed y'all. We had a good time on vacation. We urge you to take a vacation this summer with your family.
Yes.
Do it. It'll be very inspirational to you, and it give you a sense of renewing your drive
Yes.
to do what God has
Restoration.
called you to do. So
Yes. Yes.
we're going to close with our saying that we always say: challenge yourself to be better, because if you don't, who will? We love you.
We love you. Be blessed. Have a great week.